Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
Coming up next on The Beat Goes On, we welcome our ambassador from Parnell, Kevin Harvey. Kevin, along with his father Les, began the creation of the Parnell Village back in the early 70s. Today, it remains one of New Zealand's top tourist attractions.
Kevin Harvey.
How are you going?
Kevin, you're still the second most handsome man in New Zealand.
Well,
Still the second.
I've had just a couple of days ago, I go pretty regularly to a lovely old friend of the family's really, Dr. Downey, a wonderful man,
Dr. Downing, I presume?
yes, he's a skin specialist, and I have all my huge amounts of cancers. Yeah, he's got like a big ice gun, and he just all over the place. Yeah, it's from years and years of surfing and sailing. So that's the way it is. So I do look like I'm something that's sort of highly contagious, but I'm not.
Now, Kevin, you spent all that time surfing as a young man. What did you learn from it?
I learnt the joy of being down the beach, watching the sun come up, feeling good.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing was absolutely beautiful. I don't regret one moment of it.
Some people could say, what a waste of time, all that time spent surfing.
Spectacular. Have you been watching the Nigel Latter show?
No, I haven't.
No, you wouldn't, would you? So you don't give a two hoots about the world, about New Zealand in 30 years' time, do you?
No, not really.
No.
Do you think
Well,
I'll
it's
be
a
here?
very poor attitude. But anyway, one of the things that my dad used to talk about was, he said, this is years ago, he used to say, technology is going to render man redundant. And he said, we're going to have to get used to having, like a quarter of the workforce looking after the other 3/4, and the other 3/4 are going to have to be able to maintain some feeling of obviously self-worth, and so we're going to have to learn to use leisure time, cooperative gardening, so that we don't have to go to those dirty bastard supermarkets. Sorry about that.
What's
I'm
wrong
not
with
even sorry.
supermarkets?
Well, they're just run by a bunch of crooks. Half the stuff you buy has all been processed. Everything's the same shape. It's just rubbish. And most of the goodness, the nutrients have leached and whatever out, because the fact it's been shipped down and then put into coolers, and it's horrendous, really. Yeah. So getting back to surfing. In the past, and getting back, I don't know if I'll take surfing up again as I get older. I'll probably be spectacular. But anyway, that we're going to have to learn to enjoy our leisure time and to look after one another.
Now, Kevin, before we talk about Parnell, here's your big test. What was the greatest song by the Beach Boys? If you're a surfing man...
No, I hate the Beach Boys.
How could you hate the Beach Boys? They're
I
great.
can't bear them.
Yeah?
You've got terrible taste in music, haven't you?
What about Surfing USA?
No.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA. That was a great song, wasn't it?
Awful.
Wasn't
The
it?
most horrendous music I've ever heard.
The Beach
It's actually
Boys.
almost as bad as Cliff Richard's. Oh, you probably love him too, don't you?
I quite like Cliff Richard.
You've got to be joking.
He was
Do
all
you
right.
love Shooby Dooby Doo music, do you?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. I'm a romantic.
I was a Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. That was my stuff.
And what did that do for you, Kevin?
It shaped my personality into the wonderful being that I am today.
We're supposed to be talking about Parnell, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. But
Parnell in the wintertime. I mean, Parnell in the summertime is absolutely beautiful. The trees are out and all the sunshine's here, but never ever tell me that Parnell's not a great place to go to in the wintertime, because there's restaurants, and nightclubs, and lots of things to do, isn't there?
I don't know about any nightclubs.
Yeah. Well, Pineapple Bar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But they won't let me in there because I'm too old and ugly. I always get turned away. And besides, I like to get home and watch the chase at 5 o'clock. Saturday. I don't think they open till about 7, which is well past my bedtime. No, it is nice. And we've got some beautiful restaurants now that are within 150 metres of each other.
Great restaurants.
That's what having a little compact, that's the advantage of it.
The opening of Jerome, what wonderful restaurant, isn't it?
It is. It's fantastic. They've done a beautiful job.
Everyone knew and loved Iguazu, and that was the focal point of Parnell. But it's back. It's back again, isn't it, with Jerome?
You know, in this business, she's a bit of a jungle out there. You have to be brave, and because you get a lot of people that will be wanting to put you down, especially people that don't even know you. And a lot of people said, well, why don't you knock that down? You know, it'd be a lot more cost effective, which it would have been. Iguazu was so famous years ago, and it was such a vibrant, sexy place,
it was,
destination.
wasn't it?
And
with the veranda bar right next door.
Yeah. And so by keeping it, and by putting, these guys have actually enhanced it, it's more beautiful than it's ever been. And apparently he's getting back a lot of the old Parnell people that used to go to Iguazu all the time. Maybe they're just fractionally older, maybe, touch. But, and they're going back, you know, 2 or 3 times in a week, and they just love it. So I'm extremely excited that I didn't listen to other people.
You can shape it. You've got the money and the wherewithal to, and a construction
company. I can
company.
totally waste it, you see.
Yeah.
You see,
you must have all the advice in the world from
but
people.
I have the luxury of not having to, I'm not like some of these hungry developers that are doing stuff for money.
Yeah.
I can be totally indulgent and make massive losses. I can fully overcapitalise.
But you're enjoying every minute of it.
I'm loving every moment of it. And you don't have to always look to make, the profit doesn't have to be the driving factor. In fact, it should come second or third down. You have to feel like you made a difference for people.
You've created value.
That's got to be the number one. You know, otherwise we're just total dipshits. You know, and I could name a couple, but I won't. But anyway, I'd like to have, if I can get past the Auckland City Council, all those people ridden with dandruff that still live with their mummies, all the urban designers and the town planners. I'd like to have an open fire. Ooh, naughty.
An open fire.
Yeah, well, so people can sit around and...
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
What's the law against that?
I'm sure there is. There are lots of laws, of laws. I'd like to be able to have some you know, crumpled up old Greek man with his own oven making hot bread that, you know, that I used to have in Crete, you know. And so you just go there and you just buy your bread, and then you might be served up with some beautiful organic tomatoes and olive oil and garlic, you know, or you could go across and have some Lebanese food or some Persian food or some whatever, and it's all going to be around, and then we'll have a little place, a little cart that will just sell only red wine probably, or maybe some white wine, but whatever, and only the wine that I like, you know. And so the whole thing's going to be a beautiful experience.
Well, how long is this going to take, Kevin?
Well, knowing me, it'll take much longer than it should do. Probably this year and next year.
Okay.
But we will be having a beautiful, like a Matakana market on a Saturday or Sunday, and we'll build our own carts, so there'll be beautiful produce, like really, really lovely, wholesome, organic, non-supermarket food. You know, we'll have great big old leather chairs on casters that will pull out, so we can watch the movies, and little tables. So, you know, so you can sit there and eat your food and drink your wine.
Sounds
with people from all around the world. So we want to look after people.
Well, Kevin, we've run out of time, but I want to slip in the fact that treat yourself to a Parnell Day. All of New Zealand, if you're travelling up to Auckland, come and see Kevin. He'll be there.
Yes.
Spend a day in Parnell, and then the rest of Auckland, what about inviting them as well, Kevin? So
they can come if they want to. Most of them can come anyway.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to vet them at the bottom of Parnell Rise. No, I won't. No, they're all welcome.
Yeah, they're all. Kevin, we're going to see you in 2 weeks' time.
All right.
More great news on the wonderful suburb called Parnell.
That's the one.